Oh,
yeah. Yo, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast, the best damn podcast you've heard. Today, my name is Andy.
I'm Amanda. I'm Ash.
And we are doing a special edition podcast today of all the normal stuff we normally do.
Sure.
It's not special if everyone's a special edition, Andy. Stop.
I wish you talked to yourself like that all the time.
Stop. What was that thing I was telling you where it's like,
No.
I was a TikTok of a lady where she's like, I always have this voice. I'll get confidence. And she's like, you look good today. And I got that voice. She's like, yeah, you look good today. Ooh. Like she'll look in the mirror and then talk herself down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you look good.
Oh, yeah, you look real good.
Stupid hair and stupid face.
And it's the same lady. So funny. Fantastic. Fantastical.
Andy, I have a question for you.
Oh, snap. Let's dig it. Let's dig into it.
I feel like you have personal experience and you might really be able to talk to this, so I'm going to say to you.
Apparently.
How do I phrase this? When does collecting become hoarding?
God dang it. Okay, listen, I'm not a hoarder, okay? So, the situation, what you're trying to ask me is there such thing as too much collecting, or should I be more of a minimalist? Is that what you're trying to ask me?
No.
Dang it. Okay. So I will say, okay, I will just say this as an anecdotal description of what is happening in my life is that I collected too much shit. I'm looking around at it and it's not holding value to me anymore. Like I'm looking around at it, I'm like, that's cool, but fucking why? Like that's awesome, but I'll never play it. Or that's cool, but it's just going to collect dust on a shelf. So, yes, I have now moved into what I will call my minimalist phase, which is a very long transition because that's a lot of shit to like get through. But
so
yes,
before we dive into your minimalist journey,
hoarding,
I just kind of want to like see how you guys feel about like collections in general. Like your collection is of video games, right?
Yes,
primarily,
that
right?
is correct. Yes,
and like you collect games because you can play them. They have a purpose,
yes,
and the values attached to their purpose.
Yes.
What about other collections that people have, like
a huge collection of
stamp
samurai swords,
collecting?
Oh, or coins?
Yeah.
I don't honestly substitute anything for just rocks you find on the ground and you just like keep them in your house and it's the same thing, correct? Like kinda like, hey, look at my cool rock collection of pebbles I found on my walks. People are like, cool. Now what do we do? And you're like, that's it. I just wanted to show you. And then you move on.
Yeah.
Do you think
is it more like and Amanda, you can chime in on this.
Yeah.
Is it more the collection or the collecting?
I'm gonna leave it to me.
For me, okay, I will come back to this. I want to talk briefly about in the specific instance of coin collecting. I think that there are some people who collect, but know in the back of their mind what their collection is worth.
Oh, yes,
if they've
value
ever
collecting.
had
Yeah.
to dump anything,
Yep.
like, okay, I know for a fact my coin collection's worth $2,000.
Right.
Like, but for me, I collect things and I have a lot of stuff. So
yes.
the things that I collect, I enjoy the hunt. Like so I collect salt and pepper shakers. I collect a lot of different things, but like that's one of the things that I do like actively collect along with like promotional fast food stuff like for the kitchen. And I know that I could go to eBay or, to like the internet and find whatever I'm looking for. But I don't want to do that because what I like about my collection is finding it. And so for me, that's the part. But I want to be able to display what I have. Because to me, it's like I can't enjoy it if I can't see it.
Right.
Yes.
And then
because it's not like your salt and pepper shakers. You're not like using your salt and pepper shakers. You're not like I find joy in
like you're not filling
shaking
salt and pepper
out
each
of
one each
Frankenstein's
meal.
head. Like,
well, so I actually like to use them because to me it's
good.
like why have them? So
but every time you have to use salt and pepper, you're like, yeah.
Well, okay, so most of them are filled.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
There are a couple that aren't. Like if I can't properly get in there and clean it when I buy it.
Yeah.
Or I have a couple that are just so fragile.
Yeah.
But I have a lot. Eventually what I want to do, and I want to pick them out myself, I think. I want to have a set for like every holiday. And then like swap them out on the table.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I have a pretty extensive collection of like weird salt and pepper shakers.
So where does it end?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't really buy a lot anymore. I've never like been like, oh, it's a salt shaker. I need it.
Yeah.
Like it's like it has to like be very specific. Like, and I don't exactly know what the parameters are.
But it's like whatever brings you joy when you see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't want just like the glass crystal generic salt and pepper shakers. Like if we're out and I find like I have one, he's like this little plastic donkey and he's like a burro and he's got two like water jug looking things that he's wearing on his like saddle and they're salt and pepper shakers. I'm like, that's weird. I need it.
What got you into collecting salt and pepper shakers? Like, why is there a catalyst behind what started all of it?
Not that I can remember. I've always just thought there was so many themed ones.
Yeah.
And I love a themed item.
Right.
And,
right.
Usually like there's so many different options and there's so many. And then especially now that like you could find weird stuff. And like when we went to Hawaii, I think I ended up getting 2 sets of salt and pepper shakers, but I didn't buy them. Like, and now see, there's like a secondary amount of salt and pepper shakers that I have been bought that aren't really my vibe. But and that's where I feel guilty, like thinning the herd.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are some that I'm like, I would not buy this for myself. So it's okay. Like to let it go.
Sure.
And so like any collection, your family knows that you like a certain thing and they just get whatever. So my mom will buy me salt and pepper shaker sets and it's like, ma'am, what makes you think I want like Minnie Mouse salt and pepper shakers?
Because I saw them.
But it's just well, they're salt and pepper shakers, and it's like, okay, thank you.
But you're not collecting the whole world's salt and pepper shakers.
Yeah, I'm like, give me the weird ones. Like, like I've got like a shark that a leg magnets into his mouth, and like they're each shakers. And I've got it's like Marie Antoinette. She's like a bust. But then her head magnets onto her body. So like sometimes I'll go in there and I'll move them around a little bit. And like sometimes I'll put her head back on. And other times I love to like just lay it next to it. I've got Ghostbusters ones. I've got Super Mario. I've got Pac-Man ghosts. I've got like the Jurassic Park doors, like the front gate.
Yeah.
And then I've got a separate set of 2 dinosaurs and I always put those together. But like if Lincoln ever wanted to have like a dinosaur birthday, Like, not like I'm like, I got everything. But it's one of those like, ooh, I have something for this. Like, but you know, I've got a ton of stuff in the garage, just in general. I've got a ton of stuff in the garage that I'm just like, I have done nothing with this. And I need to get rid of it, but it's like, I don't know, there's this thing that is like the hoarder part that's like, well, so and so bought that for you, or so and so did that.
Yep.
Like, especially like when getting rid of Lincoln's toys. Like, I'll be like, oh, well, your grandma bought that for you or whatever. When in reality, it's like, I've stepped on this 5 times.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think especially with your salt and pepper shakers, you have a really good delineation of like, I'm getting things that are unique that I specifically like. I still use them. I display them. Like, I don't just want anything and everything. I think you're doing it right.
So it's funny that you bring this up because the first thing I thought about was your old statue collection.
Yeah.
But you
your creepy old people?
Yeah, but she let it all go.
The Wallace Berry figurines.
She donated all of them.
And why did I do that?
You just didn't care anymore.
Because they literally sat in a box for years.
Right. And you never displayed them. And she was like, whatever.
And I said, if I didn't care enough to display them this whole time, then I obviously don't.
And do you care now that they're gone?
No.
Right.
But it was fun to find them.
So
Yes. Yeah. I want to be able to like
the hunt. Yeah.
Yes, I want to be able to like go somewhere, buy something super cheap, and then just be like, here, you can have it back. Like, I just want to find it.
Right? It's like people that go fishing and throw it back.
I never paid
right?
more than like $2 or $3 for one. And if I saw one that was too much, I wouldn't buy it. Like, so it was like, yeah.
Well, it's funny. I just recently sold my entire Wii collection. So, this was a conversation Ash and I had, and she goes, have you played that within like 5 years? And I'm like, nope. And she goes, will you play it in the next 5 years? I go, probably not. And she's like, why do you have it though? That's a decade of your life. Why is that even on the shelf? So I did. I pulled the trigger for the first time to get rid of one piece of my collection, which is a start of this whole journey.
But wait, I thought you sold? No, it was someone else. I was gonna say I thought you sold all your GameCube games, but
no,
that
was Matt. Matt did the entire GameCube collection. He sold all of it just to recollect it again. He told me just recently, though, the first collection was like some printed covers, missing manuals, not great condition. And then the new collection that he did was like quality primo stuff. Yes.
I get that.
Now, for me, I struggle with having so many games because I want to play it when I can see it. Like when I can like face it out blockbuster style and I see the cover, but when it's just a spine, it's boring to me. I don't want to go pull it off the shelf and play it. So I'm struggling right now to like, do I have a more quality collection where I have 20 PlayStation 1 games all faced out where I can see them and want to play them? Or have I convinced myself that this has so much nostalgia to me that I just have to own it? So it's a struggle.
Mean,
it's a
you
struggle.
could kind of go in between where like, you're like, okay, I can't imagine not having a PS2 in my collection.
Right.
Maybe you keep all the games that like you actually want to play or want to replay, whatever, and you just like thin everything else.
Mm-hmm. And like if, like we said, if it's the thrill of the hunt, then like those Wii games, like if there's one down the road where you're like, you know what, I really wish I still had this. I want to play it. You can go find it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
And make that part of the hunt again. Yeah. You're right. And that's a hard one though, when you're like, I know this stuff's more expensive now. So you let it go and you're like, I don't know if I'll ever see it again for that price. But also I wasn't going to play it. So why am I so worried about value anyway?
Yeah.
So that's just such an interesting like thing to think about from collection. Cause another thing that I collect is Beast Wars figures, right? Like and Mighty Max. Like I've done those
and
for a
Ninja
while.
Turtles and
continue it.
And
but when Ash says this, it's not a joke because then you start and you're like, where does it end, man?
Yeah.
Like, what do you really like to collect, or do you just like to go find cool stuff? And it's like, Bingo. It's the
Yes.
hunt of
It
finding
is.
cool stuff. And then now you justify it because you've created a collection of things that you're like, I should add to that now. But why? So I will say the minimalist lifestyle, which is the other side of this that we were talking about. There was a TikTok I watched recently where a guy said, I only own black clothing. I own a black shirt, black hoodies, black pants, black shorts, black shoes, so that I don't have to waste my time thinking about what I have to wear during the day, and I can just throw whatever on and I get to move on with whatever else I want. There's so many times I think that we stress ourselves out about having variety and having options.
Exactly, because one thing you brought
Yeah.
up when you were talking about that TikTok to me was that guy has 4 mugs,
Right.
right? When he said, I don't need 32 mugs for the times that somebody is at my house and they need a cup of coffee. He's like, I can go buy paper cups for that one instance when there's more than 4 people here. And after I use a cup, I wash it and then I use it again the next day. He's like, I don't need a whole cupboard full of mugs.
Yeah.
But then I'm sitting here, I'm like, oh, but I like
Don't take away my mugs,
But
man.
I need
I
my
like
30
my
mugs.
I like to open it up each day
Uh-huh.
and be like, which mug do I feel like today?
Yeah, see, so those
Yeah.
mugs
It
hold
matters. I don't
value
know
for
why
you.
it matters.
Yeah.
I'm just there's
I
certain
can't drink
things that
coffee out of a
click.
boring mug.
Yeah, because if every morning you were like styrofoam cup again, like doesn't it feel like so blah?
Or if I had the same mug every day to have my cup of coffee, I would be.
I'd lose my mind. I crave variety,
yeah.
but I hate change. And I get like anxiety about making a choice.
Yeah. Yep.
Like I want something different, but I want you to figure out what that is.
yeah.
Like I will tell you what I don't
Yeah.
want, and I'll tell you that everything else sounds fine. But
Yes.
ultimately, I need someone else to choose,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
why being married to me is super duper fun.
But that's also why I would struggle with the
Yeah.
like, I only own black clothes. I only like
Yeah.
own the same 4 pair of pants and whatever. Like Amanda said, I want variety.
right.
But I also agree with that guy that picking out my outfit every day is stressful.
So honestly,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I do, I got to like with it's kind of helped with my job, but like I get physically dirty every day. Like I get bleach on me,
Yeah.
I get my shirt wet, whatever. And so a long time ago, I kind of just mentally was like, this is my work uniform.
Right.
I wear my sneakers, I wear a pair of leggings or like pants, whatever, just like not jeans, and I wear a black shirt.
Yep.
And so getting ready for work is like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Because I'm
it's
just
stressful.
like socks, underwear, when I put my laundry away, I organize my closet where I have like all my graphic tees on one side and then I have all my work shirts on the other side. So like I literally just like
just
grab
grab and
and put my clothes on.
Yeah.
And like also, you know, I wear this, I'm like a cartoon character. I wear the same thing every day.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
even like today, my day off, I'm wearing leggings, a t-shirt, and like, so it's all the same. And honestly, that does decrease stress
yeah.
in trying to figure out what to wear.
And I mean, to be fair, I work from home. I don't have any friends. If I wore the same thing every day, nobody would care.
Yeah, whatever. Nobody would care. It's funny. So I know there's another piece to this, just a
Yeah.
little bit, but like I'm in a community with the gaming stuff where like everybody peer pressures and also like dick measures,
Yeah.
like the collection. How cool is your collection? How many rare items do you have? How many like,
How big is it?
yeah, how big's the collection? And like after a while, you're like, why are we
Who
all
cares?
doing this? Like, wouldn't I be okay if I just had like 5 games that I really liked
right.
and I just play those
But that's
every now and
you
again?
caring about your collection instead of you caring about how you feel about your collection
Yeah.
as opposed to you caring about how other people are feeling about your
Correct. And I
collection.
think a lot of people, and this can work for anything, like guys that go hard on sneakers, is
Yeah.
so that they have clout to tell other people
Right. Or
that
show
they
them
have
off.
all these cool sneakers.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, if it was just you, maybe you'd have like 5 pairs of sneakers you like, and that was it. So I don't know. I think the collecting mentality is hard, but I think you, me, and Amanda all have that personality where we like enough variety that dumbing it down to solely like vanilla
Be a true minimalist.
is super hard for us, because it's like, well, then my life's boring. I don't want
The I-
boring, right?
The idea of minimalism fills me with anxiety. Like, the idea,
right.
and honestly, I'm sure that if like, I mean, I always have to have like something, right? But like, if we were just like put into a situation that it was like you have everything you need, clothing,
right.
food, cups, everything, I'm sure I'd bring things in. But like, I think at a certain point I would be like, no, it's easy to maintain this way. Like,
Yeah.
this is easy. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I need funky. I need pops of color. But I also, as an adult, need to develop better skills of like making it aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would be able to enjoy a lot of the things I own more if I knew how to display them.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a struggle for sure.
Well, like, and then you see people who just like put shit all over the walls, and I'm like,
Right.
I don't understand how to do
Like
that.
Andy gets
Yeah.
very overwhelmed with his collection because he's like, I don't know how to display it properly. He's like, I feel like to really pay honor to the things I've collected, I need to show them off.
Yeah.
But it comes to a point where he's got too many things
Yeah.
that there's no possible way to display it and make it look nice.
Right,
Because then
because
it's just
Yes.
clutter.
It literally just looks like a flea market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and I don't like, my house is a perfectly fine size house. It's big. I have no problems with my house. But there's no like storage in my house.
Yeah.
Like, there's no like built-ins. There's no like, there's a couple spots where you're like, oh yeah, bookcase would be fine here. But like, all the other spaces are kind of like odd, where it's like the space isn't really large enough to put a bunch of shit there. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
so that's hard.
Hang tight. It's time for a real awkward break.
What if you could go back in time and rewatch your favorite movies with fresh eyes?
Well, that's exactly what we do on the Regular Guy Movie Show. I'm Brian.
I'm Seth.
And I'm Justin.
Each episode, we dig into a different movie. We break down what holds up, what doesn't, and why we loved it in the first place.
It's like hanging out with your buddies and debating movies with less burping and farting.
So if you're a fan of nostalgia with a side of sarcasm,
Come hang with us.
The Regular Guy Movie Show, talking flicks. Here we go!
The Regular Guy Movie Show. Press play on your childhood favorites.
I don't know if there's actually a solution here, because I think we all would love the idea of being a minimalist. But then the reality of pulling the trigger on it, like Amanda said, if that's also anxiety inducing.
Well, I think you have to compare the level of joy you're getting out of the collecting process with the amount of stress that you're enduring because of the collection.
I think Amanda hit it on the head when she said, someone else do it for me, then I'll be fine. Like, if I could come into a zone that was like perfect and I didn't have to make the decisions of what to cut out of my life and what to like, and I could just like roll into it, that'd be easier. But the fact that you have to stand there and you have to shoot the dog in the head yourself is very difficult.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
I think I'm at a place, and it's honestly just for me, it's just finding the time to just like dig my heels in and do it. But I think I just want to like approach certain things that are like, instead of like, what can I give away? What can I give away? I think I need to think about it from a position of what would I not want to lose?
Yeah.
Yes. It's
What was that thing I said to you? If something in your collection had poop on it,
Yeah.
would you
wash
clean
it
it off or throw it away?
Or just throw it
Yeah.
away? Yep. Yep.
I tried that
And
with my
that's-
kids. It didn't work. They were like,
They go,
I'd clean it
I'd
up.
clean off the necklace or whatever it was. Some
Yeah.
shitty necklace they got from one of those 25-cent machines.
Oh yeah.
I'd clean it off.
And you're like, yeah, whatever.
Dear Lord. Ash,
Next.
you got a trivia thing for us? Right?
Just push the button.
You think you know trivia? Think again.
That's it. We need a new promo.
I know, because it says movie. My bad. I got to fix all of those. Don't worry. I'll have some time this next week. We'll get it going.
Yeah.
You said this is music?
Yeah, this is not Who Said It trivia.
Who said it?
We're to music today. We're gonna mix it up.
Do you know Amanda and I are the best at music?
Yeah.
We know the best.
So
of
tell me
all
this. Are you
time.
the best at 80s and 90s?
Yep.
Are you the best at rock
Yep.
or chart toppers?
Oh, shit. Wait, how old is rock? Like, is this 60s rock? Because I'm out.
Only one way to find out.
Shit. Amanda, I say chart toppers because that seems like the easiest, the lowest hanging fruit.
Hypothetically, we would know the song if it's a chart topper.
But then 80s and 90s was like,
That could be anything,
Prime
though.
time.
it could
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Why don't we do chart top? Is that okay? Chart toppers?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ash. Hit us and our audience with some chart toppers. Guys, play along with us. We're going to do some trivia here, and let's see how good we are.
All right. In what year did John Lennon release the song
Son of a bitch.
Imagine? I had to say it like that. Imagine.
77.
What do you think, Amanda?
1972.
71.
Dang.
Ooh,
Very
so
close.
If these are all just like year things,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
screwed.
out.
They're not. They're not.
Okay, thank God.
Which song begins, "First I was afraid, I was petrified"?
Just thinking I could never live without you by my side.
And then I spent
I
some
will
time
survive.
Thinking how you did me wrong. I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor.
Gloria Gaynor.
Good job. According to his song, what was Robert Palmer addicted to?
Love.
Yeah.
Might as well face it on.
Yeah, I'm addicted to love.
I think you guys have to sing every song.
Ding it down.
Yeah.
Which performer had a hit with Shape of You?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
Oh,
Boom.
the ginger.
The Ginger. Can you sing it, Amanda?
The thought process there. Get her started, Ash. Get her started.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that the one where you're like, I'ma love you, man,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
I love you in my room.
I'm a bad
Da-
chick,
da- da-
smile
ba-
like
ba-
you.
Brand new. I'm in love with
I'm in
the shape
love.
of
You guys are good at the nya 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 stuff. All right.
everybody.
Nya 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 body.
But you know
That should
what?
be the segment.
You knew what
That
song
should
we
be
were
the
doing, didn't you?
segment. Nya 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 body.
We're like, name that too. And we're just
Yeah.
like,
God dang it.
which English band
Mm.
had a hit with Here I Go Again?
Here I go
Rock you.
again
Wait.
on my own.
I'm
Oh, is it
wrong.
not that
I'm
one?
wrong.
Yeah,
Is
who
it
is
Whitesnake?
Whitesnake.
Yeah,
I
baby.
You guys are good at
my
this.
brain translated that to Here I am.
Oh,
Dude.
dude.
Rock you
Dude.
like a hurricane.
Who did Katy Perry sing alongside on California Girls?
Snoop Dogg?
California girls, it's undeniable. Was it Snoop?
Snoop.
Snoop Lion? Wasn't he Snoop Lion back then?
No, that was his reggae album.
Oh, okay. My bad.
I don't know why I know that.
Hizzle bizzle.
All right. Who picked up Good Vibrations in 1966?
The Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys.
I'm begging on. No, no,
Why do you sound like Elvis?
No. Oh, sorry.
Good, good, good.
Blinding Lights, released in 2019, is a song by which Canadian?
The Weeknd.
Rooster head.
Roosterhead, The Weekend. All right, let's do a couple more here. According to the 1983 Frankie Goes to Hollywood hit song, what should we do?
Relax.
Don't do it. Is that it?
When you want to go to it, relax.
Don't Stop the Music and We Found Love are songs from which singer?
Don't stop.
Nope.
Oh, wait, that's Believe It.
That's Journey.
Wait. Is that is it Rihanna? Please
Yep,
don't stop
Rihanna.
the music.
Oh. Rihanna.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, you guys want any more?
Hit us with one more.
I'm
Two
fucking
more.
good
There's
at
two on a
this.
card. What was the name of the Rolling Stones' sweet-sounding 1971 hit single?
I see a red door and I want it painted black.
That's
How is that
sweet-sounding?
sweet sounding?
Oh, sorry. I don't know. What is it?
Brown.
Brown
sugar.
sugar.
I was singing the song in my head. I was like, it's the one that go. I was like, what are the words? What are the words?
Sorry.
What was the name of Carl Douglas's 1974 hit?
I do not know who Carl Douglas is.
I don't either.
That was a decade before
Everybody
my time.
was kung fu
Ooh.
fighting.
Huh.
Fast as lightning.
It was a little bit frightening.
Yeah.
Huh.
Huh.
There you have it.
Yay.
Music
Wait, did we-
trivia.
did we win?
Do. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mostly Amanda won.
Oh.
That's
You did great.
normally Amanda.
You did great.
That's normally Amanda that she won.
I think you
Actually,
guys
I do-
impressed yourselves.
Okay.
I enjoy trivia.
Oh crap. Is this wait, this isn't a Book of the Dead. This is just Amanda?
This is,
Amanda.
you know what? This is my turn now. Look out,
It's my
bitches.
turn now.
'Kay,
Amanda,
here's what we're
you
doing.
Do your thing.
Here's what we're doing. Remember a hot minute ago when I told you guys the story about little old JC making a movie with Mel
Jesus
Gibson?
Christ.
John
Little old
Krasinski?
JC.
John Krasinski?
Jesus
John-
Christ.
John Caviezel?
Jim Caviezel and
John
Jesus
Caviezel?
Christ.
John Caviezel.
John Caviezel?
'Kay.
What? Oh, is this the sequel?
We're talking about a movie that was horrible to make.
Oh.
Oh.
Bing bong boom.
Do you know what movie we're talking about?
No.
Passion of the Christ?
2. He is
No.
risen.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
So a few
the Ten
episodes
Commandments.
ago, I talked about
Yes.
how difficult it was to make the movie The Passion of the Christ.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
If
yes,
you missed
yes.
that episode, you definitely should go back and listen to it
That
because
was a good one.
I know I'm biased, but it's a good one.
That was awful.
There are multiple movies that have been notoriously difficult to make. I did a whole episode talking about the issues that plagued the set of The Wizard of Oz. And so the next movie we're going to talk about is a special little Werner Herzog movie
Oh, God.
called Fitzcarraldo.
Fitzcarraldo.
I'm going to take the boat from the river to more of the river.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to let you talk this out because I know this movie very well.
Okay, so basically the movie is Fitzcarraldo is considered one of the most difficult productions ever.
Yeah.
So the story of the Fitzcarraldo, it was like loosely inspired on the historical figure. It was a Peruvian rubber baron named Carlos Fermin Fitzcarraldo. In the 1890s, Fitzcarraldo arranged for the transport of a steamship across an isthmus from one river to another. So like an isthmus is like almost like a riverbank in between two bodies of water. Okay, like a hill, right? So the ship in the real life story weighed 30 tons, but the ship was completely taken apart and brought over piece by piece. That's the real story.
That's the real story.
Okay.
The real story.
The movie's crazier than that.
A little bit. So, Werner Herzog, who has done many other movies. I mean, he's directed and acted and stuff. His movies are usually kind of like cerebral.
Yeah, I actually hate him as a director. I really do. But
personally, I'm not a fan.
yeah,
I think he's got a weird voice.
he does.
But there are there's a documentary. I think there's 2 different documentaries about this movie. I can look up what they're called at the end if you want to know. But so basically Werner Herzog said that he wanted to concentrate on the physical effort of transporting the ship from point A to point B. And he was really intrigued by like past civilizations of how they were able to transport like huge stones and like large monuments just with manpower and like logs and stuff like that, right? So the film production was an incredible ordeal and famously involved moving a 320-ton steamship over a hill, all in one piece. So, this was filmed way before, special effects, all that kind of stuff. Werner Herzog believed that no one had ever performed a similar feat in history, and probably nobody will again.
Yeah, right.
So 3 similar looking ships were bought for the production and used in different scenes and locations, including scenes that were shot aboard the ship while it crashed through actual rapids.
Ooh.
The most violent scenes of the rapids were actually shot with a model of the ship. 3 of the 6 people involved in the filming of the ship going through the rapids were injured. So I'm basically just gonna kind of read this whole thing. Everything's on Wikipedia if you wanna go check it out yourself. You could read more about the actual plot of the movie, but I'm mostly just talking about what a shit show this whole thing was.
It was. I don't even know I tried.
A man named Jason Robards was originally cast as Fitzcarraldo, but he had done about 40% of the movie, but he ended up becoming sick with dysentery, and his doctors basically told him he was not allowed to go back to Peru to finish the filming. Werner Herzog considered replacing him with many different actors or himself, but decided to go with Klaus Kinski. This is an actor who Werner Herzog had worked before, and they famously, even before this point, had a very tumultuous relationship with one another. There is like famously, I think Werner Herzog pulled a gun on Klaus Kinski, like while filming a different movie.
Yeah, I heard about that.
They hated each other. Apparently Mick Jagger was supposed to be like the assistant to the main character, but because everything was delayed and like everything was so difficult to film, he had to drop out because they were like going on tour. So Klaus Kinski displayed erratic behavior throughout the production and fought constantly with Werner Herzog and other members of the crew. A scene from Werner Herzog's documentary, My Best Fiend. So Werner Herzog made a documentary about Klaus Kinski and called it My Best Fiend.
It's fantastic.
It has footage of Klaus Kinski raging at a production manager over things like food. Werner Herzog is noted. So they were like in the Amazon rainforest, like they were like in the fucking jungle,
actually in location. Yeah.
Yes.
Location.
And so because especially back then, it made it very difficult to come and go. They pretty much had to like construct really basic huts and take over areas just so they could like have a place to go at the end of the day when they were done filming. And there was a lot of like native tribes of people who lived out in the jungle. and they were using some of these people as extras. And so Werner Herzog noted that the native extras were greatly upset by Klaus Kinski's behavior, and he did not give a shit.
No, he didn't. I think he pulled a gun on them too, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, so Werner Herzog has stated, and apparently there were people who saw this as well, that one of the native chiefs of these groups offered to kill Klaus Kinski for Werner Herzog, but he declined because they had to finish filming the movie. So the locations that they filmed at were in Brazil, Peru, and so the production was affected by numerous injuries and the deaths of several indigenous extras who were hired to work on the film as laborers. There's really no final number on like who died, whatever, because basically the treatment of these indigenous natives was pretty substandard.
Dude, it was I heard it was awful.
2 small plane crashes occurred during the film's production, which resulted in a number of injuries, including one person who was paralyzed. Another incident involved a local Peruvian logger who, after being bit by a venomous snake, amputated his own foot with a chainsaw to prevent the spread of the venom and saved his own life. So Werner Herzog was accused of exploiting indigenous people during the making of the film. And a lot of people made comparisons between Werner Herzog and Fitzcarraldo himself. Yep. It's said that while Werner Herzog originally got along with the Aguaruna people, some of them who were hired as extras and laborers, the relations between the groups of people deteriorated because Werner Herzog was like clear cutting their land to like make empty space to film. He failed to consult the tribal council and attempted to obtain protection from a local militia, and the tribe turned violent. The tribe, some of the men from the tribe burned down the set. And it took, like, production had to stop for months for Werner Herzog to find a new place to work. So this whole thing was very similar to Passion of the Christ, because way over budget, it took way too long to film, and I mean, essentially, like, it didn't like ruin their careers. But like there was so much fighting that, you know, by the time this movie came out, it was sort of just like, oh, this is it. Right. And so basically, so they had this 320 like ton fucking ship that they were like rolling on logs like up this hill, and at one point, some of the native people who were tired of being treated like dog shit, basically like took out some of the supports that were holding the ship in place, and so the ship like fell back, like, and so like they had to redo all that work.
Yeah, because all of that was practical. They were literally pulling the ship, like
320 ton ship.
If I'm not mistaken, Amanda, if I'm remembering the film correctly, it's a 22-minute scene of the logs and the ship just rolling up the hill. Like
I believe it.
I think I might be wrong. It might be a little less than that, but it's literally you're sitting there and you're just watching with ropes and chains them pulling a ship up a hill. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well,
it's
ridiculous. And then there are parts where like Klaus Kinski, like his, you know, Fitzcarraldo, he's blonde.
Yes.
He's white, obviously.
Crazy.
He's in like a white suit the whole time in the fucking jungle.
Yep.
And he's surrounded by all these like indigenous people.
Yep.
And so it was very like black and white. You know what I mean? Like, and there are scenes where he's like on this hill, like overlooking this land, and he's like playing a fucking record, like phonograph out to these people.
Yes, he is, because that was supposed to motivate them to move this shit.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Like,
so stupid.
Wild.
So stupid.
So that's the Fitzcarraldo.
Dude, I mean, I remember when I watched that film for the first time, it was like we had to, for one of our classes, we had to watch that film.
I'm sure that's a film school staple.
Yes, and then you had to analyze it on top of it, and I actually have an episode on YouTube where we talk about Fitzcarraldo and our Ebert and Roper. You remember that?
That's the only reason I know about it is because of your film school project.
Yeah, because we were doing a sketch as Ebert and Roper talking about that film.
I had to look it up because I didn't know it was made in 1982.
Oh, 82.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, I have not seen the whole thing. I've seen like clips.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch it, because you know it ain't short. You know it's gonna be like 3 hours long.
It's
2
funny.
hours and 38 minutes.
Yeah, and like I told you, like half an hour of that is literally just the ship moving, starring Klaus Kinski and Claudia Carnendale. Oh yeah, because isn't there like a female protagonist in there somewhere? Stupid. But dude,
she's like the financier or something like that.
The film itself, the actual like movie poster looks all actiony, like the the boat it has,
looks intense.
Yes, and it truly isn't. That film's the most boring fucking film I've ever seen in my life, even though they're doing something like Amanda said, which was crazy grand.
Yeah,
like the actual there should have been people that are like, how in the world you moved, like that's like someone actually doing a movie where they're like, yeah, we're moving the stones of the pyramid in real life. Right,
literally.
And you would watch
it. So apparently there's a scene where Klaus Kinski's character is like having like a big dinner feast thing with all of like the people who helped move the ship. And basically it ends up in like a big fight. And it's because Werner Herzog basically told them that like they didn't have to hold their tongues. They could just like go off on Kinski however they wanted.
Yes. Yes.
Like, that's wild.
This says it took 3 years to make the film because of moving the boat.
I believe it.
I don't know if it was actually 3 years to do that, but
no, I mean, they obviously moved the boat in the movie. I don't think it probably took that long.
Right.
But like just the entire ordeal sounds like a fucking nightmare. I'm sure like Mick Jagger and the original actor guy who was supposed to play Fitzcarraldo, I'm sure they're like, thank fucking God.
Right.
Because
yeah,
they're out in the jungle. Like there are snakes, tarantulas, bugs, like all kinds of things with venom. Like, I'm sorry, if I'm making a movie as an adult and someone gets bit by a snake and has to chainsaw their own fucking leg off.
Yeah, that's intense.
Because I would be like, you know what? Maybe
out.
We're done. Maybe we cut our losses.
I'm gonna pass. That's funny.
So yeah,
I will say to our listeners, watch it if you have to, but just Google it instead, because it's a waste of your time. And Werner Herzog sucks ass as a director.
I think I want to like watch it, but just like fast forward through parts.
Well, him and Robert Altman, like both of those old directors, I hated all of their stuff. Werner Herzog, if I'm not mistaken, is in The Mandalorian, like the first episode.
Yes, he's the guy who
I
want the baby.
Yeah,
like,
I want the baby.
Yes,
yes, right.
I want the child.
What else did Werner Herzog do? Like a couple other films? Because I'm trying to remember some of his classics that I really loved.
He did. I know he did.
So
Hang
many
on.
classics.
So many classics. Like, there's directors you could just like shoot out. You're like, I know they're good stuff.
So many good movies that I can't remember. So
Dude, the silence is deafening. It's fantastic.
No, I know there was some other movie he did. He didn't. I know he did Nosferatu.
Nosferatu.
He did Grizzly Man.
Oh,
Not
cool.
Nostafaru.
Nostafaru, bro.
Dude, Grizzly Man is crazy.
Yeah.
I literally don't know any of his other movies.
I'm telling you, dude, I'm not a fan. I think I had to watch a couple of the other ones and I was like, ass.
Well, and I think
So
that
ass.
they're just not for us. He did Rescue Dawn with Christian Bale.
Oh, Bad Lieutenant. Remember that one with Nicolas
Oh,
Cage?
God.
Oh my god.
Port of Call, New Orleans.
Yeah.
Ass. Suck
Ass.
it. Suck it, dude. Dude, I gotta lighten this up, ladies. I gotta lighten this up. Okay?
Okay.
It's springtime. All right. I'm gonna lead you out with a dad joke.
Okay,
Y'all ready?
Let us think about it for a second before you tell us the answer.
You guys are gonna get this one.
Yeah, geez.
Okay, hold on. Ready?
Yeah.
What do clouds wear during spring rain showers?
I have an answer.
No. Go. Ready, go.
Thunderpants.
Thunderwear.
Oh.
So dumb. Amanda, if people are like, Fitzcarraldo is my favorite movie, I fucking hate you guys. Where can they say that?
I mean, honestly, at this point, if that's what you're gonna bring to us, save your time. If you want to come talk some shit about other movies that you know were difficult to make, come check out our Instagram at Roll Awkward Podcast. We have links to all of our socials, and you can slide into our DMs.
Ooh, all right. Well, let's salt and shake out of here, huh?
Shake it like a salt shaker, shake it like a salt shaker.